So you mentioned open water swimming there. When did you start doing that? Because it must be amazing to do that in Orkney.
Yeah, so I started surfing with my brother 4 years ago, and I must admit it seems a bit daft coming from Orkney, from a group of islands, but I really saw the sea as a complete hindrance. We had to get across it, and then we had to get back, and we had to get back, and when I was younger, I wasn't a great sailor, so I resented the sea, and I was like, oh God, here we go. Anyway, I remember one of the first days I went out with Andrew on the surfboard, and we sat out in the middle of the sea, and it was just so incredible, and I felt so tiny in this huge planet, in this huge ocean, and it was just mesmerizing and exciting, humbling, and a whole lot of things rolled into one, and I just instantly fell in love with it and the power of the sea. So that kind of started me thinking about not the sea as an obstacle, but as this other that I could be involved in, and yeah, continued to do some bit of surf with Andrew, and then I moved to this beautiful little beach house, the Beach House Studio, and it was during a really difficult time. And I remember thinking, it's kind of one of those moments I was like, what can I do? What can I do here? Because I wasn't feeling creative at all. That had been kind of drained out of me at that stage. And I looked, and I had my wetsuit hanging up, and I had a pier right outside my door. I was like, you can swim, you can get in the water. And that was it. And I swam. The first day was on the 1st of December 2019. Which probably sounds like a crazy time to start swimming in the sea. But because I was so close to the sea, I just went in a very short dip every day, little and often. And then I started to build up. Because at first you're like, oh, I remember standing, I'm very, very lucky. I've got steps into the sea down from my pier. So it's like a swimming pool, really. And I stepped down, I was just like, oh, why am I doing this? And again, it was my brain telling me, it's too cold, don't go in there, get out. And I had to just stop thinking and just get in. And as soon as I did that every day, it became easier. And then things started to happen. I spoke to other sea swimmers, and my friend Alison Moore, who's a jeweler and an avid sea swimmer diver. She's been capturing photos underneath the water for the last couple of years now. She took a snorkel mask, and I looked under, and I was like, oh, there was just magic under there. There was so much colour, life, and things I'd never seen. I had no idea they were right there on my doorstep, and it was beautiful. And then that got me hooked even further. And then the seals started to come a bit closer and swim with me, which was terrifying. I remember the first time one popped up, and I was like, oh God, he's going to nibble my toes. I don't know if I like this. They don't nibble your toes, but they're very curious. They're a bit like dogs in the sea, and they want to see what you're up to. And that again was amazing. And just seeing the wildlife, and the wildlife comes closer to you because they're curious about what you're doing there. It's the same with surfing. They would come and have it, investigate. So you're getting that bit closer. The swimming it's completely, I'm not going to say it's changed me, but it's definitely had an impact, a really healthy impact on my body. I no longer feel the cold as much, desensitized. And for anyone that's been listening or looking at the work of Wim Hof, breathing techniques and cold showers, and just a lot sea swimming, and it's so good for you. So I would encourage everybody to get in the sea, but do it bit by bit. Don't chuck yourself in. Like, you will have a shock, but it's great.
So what advice would you have for people thinking about, or what thoughts would you have for people thinking about taking it up?
Be prepared, I guess. A lot of people in Orkney, especially the Polar Bear Club, they meet in small groups now because it's obviously socially distanced, but they meet in small groups to swim together, and they mainly swim in their swimsuits. I love my wetsuit, especially at this time of year. It just means you can stay in the water longer. I would say swim together, but I swim a lot on my own because I'm so close to the pier and I have neighbours close by. just don't swim too long, because you can get really, I think it's the adrenaline that rushes through you, gives you such a boost and a burst. And if you overdo it, you've got to think about getting out of the water, getting wrapped up. And if you've got to drive home, I don't, because I'm just right next to the pier. But, you know, give yourself that extra time and build up slowly, little and often. And have a flask and chocolate. That's key for when you get out of the water. Hot tea or whatever your hot beverage is, and chocolate. It's you need that. And just enjoy all of it, being by the sea. Just whether you're sitting in your car or sitting outside, enjoy that as much as being in the water. Sometimes that can be the shortest part of it, but it's a great thing to do, and you meet so many people once you open that door and open that conversation. Mm-hmm. It's been very.
Is there quite an online community around it?
Yes, huge. I had no idea, and I think because so many swimming pools have been shut and people love to swim, so more and more people, swimming in lochs, swimming in the sea. Just be careful. I guess that's the main thing. I haven't done much loch swimming myself, but watch, for getting out your depth too quickly. And those are the times when swimming together is safer. And don't take risks or swim too far, but don't let that hold you back either or create barriers. You'll have more fun just by having a quick dip. And even if a couple of times I just went down to the beach and just in my wellies and paddled just with my feet, because that's as good as anything. It's very grounding as well. So walking by the sea, you're getting just your feet in. That's a good way to start.